Hi everyone, my name is Christina Martin. In the last class, I introduced myself and told you all about my wonderful family. Today, I'm going to tell you about our school environment. In August, we are opening up a brand new school. It will hold about 450 new students. We have hired about 6 new teachers right out of college. The interview process was amazing. The new teachers were so eager to begin working. They actually started teaching summer school right after school ended. We've gotten together for get-togethers at the pool, and we've met at the 4th of July activities the other night, and we are starting to bond in order to create a cohesive family, in order to make things amazing next year. So the 3 levels of government involvement in education are local, state, and federal. The federal government has the responsibility to ensure the right to a free and high quality education. They protect everybody's civil rights. They enforce discriminatory laws. Every child should receive the same quality of education regardless of gender, disability, location, or income level. They provide resources for the students that are in need the most. Title I for students in low income areas, free and reduced lunches and that sort. IDEA, Individuals with Disability Education Act. They use public data to support education research and the gathering of information about the scope and quality of education in our nation. They provide support and infrastructure, and they help schools continuously improve in their work. The state government is responsible for overseeing the public education in their state. They determine how much budget will be used for educational funding. They set state standards for assessment, standards, and curriculum. Find it kind of fascinating that when we get our CAP results, we are compared to our district and we are also compared to the state. They oversee special services for students with disabilities and other challenges. They're responsible for licensing all private and public schools in the state, including charter schools. They're responsible for licensing the teachers and the staff as well. They hold elections and appoint some of the local and state board members. The local government. The school board oversees a specific school district. Most members are elected by the community and sometimes appointed by the mayor. They are part of the community. They are usually stakeholders that have children in our schools. They are supposed to be politically moderate, which I'm not too sure that happens in our school board, but they don't receive a salary and they contribute many hours. They hold interviews in order to employ our superintendent. They oversee the development of school policies, the adoption of school budget, and allocation of resources. They have the acceptance of collective bargaining agreement. So they do the bargaining with our union. They determine the policies to guide hiring of other district staff. I like this quote. It's by Chen 2022. The careful allocations of responsibilities from the federal to the local level ensures that the division of power allows for leadership at every level of hierarchy. So the policies of USD 475. It's very easy to find. You go to the website and you can pull it up. It's a 617-page document. The first thing that it says is the board shall have authority to conduct district business without specific statutory delegation. The board may transact all school district business and adopt policies the board deems appropriate to perform its constitutional duty to maintain, develop, and operate local public schools. Geary County Schools 2023. As I skimmed through this lengthy document, I came across topics as small as gifts from vendors to the memorial set if someone passes away, use of cell phones, lesson plans, service animals, and field trips. Some of these things I would have never thought would have been addressed in the policies of a district. So the questions that were asked is how do they promote the current and future success and well-being of each student and adult? The goal of the personnel policy set forth to create the best possible educational climate for the students of the school district. These personnel policies are designed to prevent misunderstandings by the district's personnel of their duties, responsibilities, and privileges. All employees shall follow all applicable board policies, rules, regulations, and supervisory directives. Use of current research findings to improve instruction is required as a part of the district's school improvement efforts. The teaching staff is required to keep abreast of current research-based teaching methods. Geary County Schools, 2023. How do they manage the school district? The board also sets goals for the district. Goals may relate to the curriculum, student achievement, teaching buildings, and equipment and funding for education. I think they also manage the school district through all their personnel at the higher level, through human resources, and at the district level. How do they communicate with the public? So on the website, it said a list of meeting dates and locations for the year is available upon request and on the meeting schedule page. The location of the board meeting is announced in the Daily Union, which is our local newspaper, and KCCK radio, as well as USD 475 TV Cox Channel 20, which I never knew we had a channel. The board president or the superintendent may also call a special meeting if necessary. There is also a website, www.usd475.org, and they have a Facebook page. How do they evaluate technology? So I was a little confused about this question. So I went to the district page and I found when they talked about technology. They feel that the use of computers is a privilege and not a right. Students and employees have no expectation of privacy when on the computer. Any email or district computers is subject to monitoring. Technology protection measures, filters are on every computer. So if I go on and I search something, it's blocked. So they have to make sure that only children get appropriate information as required by the Children's Internet Protection Act. So blocking happens all the time. Even if you think that it's nothing that's dangerous, it will come up to protect the children. How do they utilize operation systems? The Geary County Schools USD 475 District Administration is made up of a team of professionals with a vast amount of experience in technology, innovation, and relationships. The superintendents of the school provides leadership for the district and works with the Devon Center. That's our leadership team to provide first-class programs, education, and processes to Geary County School students and staff. How do they evaluate data-informed and equitable school resource plans that support school improvement and student development? So they implement the laws, the rights, the policies, and regulations to promote student and adult success and well-being. So my personal experiences with the 3 levels of government, I found this fascinating that I even had an experience with the federal government. So I'm an ELL teacher and I serve as a student that goes to Catholic school. And I always said to myself, why do I have to go to a Catholic school when they're not even part of our district? Well, according to the federal law, the district serves any child in our district with a need, whether they attend our school or not. So my experience with the state, I have attended a KSDE recognition for our Blue Ribbon Award, and I went through and answered questions from the whole panel, which was kind of exciting. Local, I have presented in front of our school district board and have watched many meetings online. And this shows that we got our Blue Ribbon spotlight. Okay, so how did your submission demonstrate your understanding operations and management? So my understanding of government control and education was broadened deeply. I learned which branch contributes to what part of education. I learned that in order to achieve effective schools, we need to have parental involvement. I learned about how local governments felt about the No Child Left Behind Act, which was fascinating to me because it came from the federal level, I would have thought it had taken more precedent in local authorities. However, I was wrong. I learned how much our school board is actually involved in and how much they are responsible for. When I read through the district's 617-page board policy document, I noticed how detailed and how every single operation that takes effect in the district is addressed. So, what priority would I have put these 4 topics? So, I would have ranked management first, because without a structure, you cannot have a successful school district. There needs to be guidelines that people adhere to and expectations set for all employees. I would then rank operation systems next to evaluate the data and find the best way to effectively meet the students where they are in order for them to learn the most effectively, making sure everything is working in an orderly fashion. I would then rank technology, because this is the way of the world from now until forever. Without technology, the students will not be prepared for the real world, and we also need to make sure to protect them from unseen dangers. Then I would say communication. Not that this is not important, but once the others are implemented, we can share with the public our plan and make sure they are all in agreement with what we put into place as a district. Relevancy. This assignment made me dig deeper into my district and find things I wouldn't have known if I didn't take the time to look. I think staff needs to be aware of the policies that take place in the district. I had a coworker who was put on leave from a coaching job, and I was reading that if they put you on leave without pay, they have to tell you what you're being accused of. But it seemed that if they are still paying you, they didn't have to tell, and they didn't tell her anything. How did this assignment improve your understanding of the government? I learned that the Constitution doesn't mention education specifically. I learned that the federal government isn't involved in the daily activities of districts, and that they only contribute 10% of the $600 billion allocated to education in our country. Numerous historical, cultural, political, and legal factors Numerous historical, cultural, political, and legal factors can influence the structure and execution of local school governance, and the issue of local control can be extremely complicated, emotionally charged, and contentious in some committees, states, and regions. Chen 2020. So, my reflection. As I move forward as a leader, I will need to keep these policies at the forefront. I will make sure I am representing the district in a professional manner and in a way that will not put question to any policies. When I think about myself as a future leader, I will make sure that I follow the policies that are in place. There are so many. The ones I think are professional development days and how many hours staff is required to work. I know that people try to skim the system sometimes when they don't think that they need to clock in and clock out. Another decision would be to require lesson plans that are sufficiently put together in order for teachers to be successful at meeting their daily standards. This has been a struggle because a lot of teachers are not being taught how to write lesson plans. And in order to meet the needs of the students, you need to know your goals and your targets, and you need to know how to write proper lesson plans. Here are my references. Thank you so much for listening.